Thomas Jefferson once said that this is a verbatim quote, an enlightened citizenry is indispensable for the proper functioning of a republic. Self-government is not possible unless the citizens are educated sufficiently to enable them to exercise oversight. It is therefore imperative that the nation see to it that a suitable education be provided for all its citizens. End of quote. Now, having an enlightened and educated citizenry is a great ideal to strive for in theory, but doing it in the real world, not so easy. This is especially true when those that we're supposed to trust, like, for example, our elected officials in Washington, D.C., when they choose to lie to the American people over and over again rather than face or tell the facts. And when it comes to lying lawmakers, it turns out Republicans are the worst. I mean, by big margin. George Mason University's Center for Media and Public Affairs analyzed 100 statements, 46 by Democrats, 54 by Republicans, that were fact-checked by the Tampa Bay Times' PolitiFact organization between January 20th, basically the first of this year, and May 22nd. Earlier, last week, I guess. The center found that 52% of Republican claims reviewed by PolitiFact were rated mostly false, or pants on fire, which is like incredibly false. While just 24% of Democratic statements were given one of those ratings. Similarly, 54% of Democratic statements were rated as mostly true or true, while only 18% of Republican statements achieved that rating of true. So here we have empirical proof that Republicans lie, and they lie a lot. I mean, that wouldn't be such a bad thing if the Republicans just lied to themselves, if they weren't able to spread their lies to the masses. But the mainstream media loves to let Republicans come on TV and spew lies and misinformation. Media Matters looked up the makeup of guests on the major Sunday morning talk shows during the first quarter of this year. It's this year? Now? I mean, back when Bush was in power, they were saying, we get mostly Republicans, all the big networks, ABC, NBC, CBS. That was, majority of their guests on their Sunday morning shows were Republicans. And they said, well, that's because, you've got a Republican administration. These are the people who are the newsmakers. These are the people who have power. So, of course, we're going to have them on. Well, now you've got a Democratic administration, democratically controlled Senate still. Of the 400 guests who appeared on ABC's This Week, CBS's Face the Nation, NBC's Meet the Press, and Fox's Fox News Sunday, 40% were either Republicans or conservatives, and only 29% were Democrats or progressives. The rest were like journalists and things like that. And when you consider that millions of Americans tune into these shows each and every Sunday, the profound effect that the Republican lie and misinformation machine has on the American electorate, I mean, it's mind-boggling. I consider the kind of lies that the Republicans are telling the American people. They lie about Obama and health care, for example. Here's an example. In the run-up to the 2012 presidential election, then candidate for vice president Paul Ryan told a crowd in Florida that death panels do indeed exist.
We love you, Paul, but I'm getting long in years. You address the death panels that we're going to have?
The death panels, well, that's not the word I choose to use to describe it. It's actually called, so in Medicare, what I refer to this board of 15 bureaucrats, it's called the Independent Payment Advisory Board. It sounds fairly innocuous.
Right. Well, as we know, there is no such thing as death panels in any portion of the Obamacare legislation. And the Independent Payment Advisory Board that Ryan talks about, lied about, has no ability to ration health care. Next, there are the lies about guns and gun violence in America. Just days after the Newtown tragedy last December, Congressman Louis Gohmert went on Fox News Sunday and said that concealed carry laws reduce the level of gun violence. Take a listen to this.
And the facts are that every time guns have been allowed, concealed carries have been allowed, the crime rate has gone down.
Not so much. According to the Washington Post fact-checker site, Gohmert's statement that concealed carry laws reduce gun violence is pretty much impossible to prove. And in fact, on the other hand, most of the evidence out there disputes the claim. Then there are the Republican lies about Social Security programs, social welfare programs like Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare. Lindsey Graham is one of the biggest culprits when it comes to lying about the state of America's social welfare program. In an interview on CBS's Face the Nation last December, Graham said that America's social welfare programs were going bankrupt. Do we have time to play that clip? Okay, here it is.
I think we're going over the cliff. It's pretty clear to me they've made a political calculation. This offer doesn't remotely deal with entitlement reform in a way to save Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security from imminent bankruptcy. It raises $1.6 trillion on job creators that will destroy the economy, and there are no spending controls.
Right, raising taxes on rich people. We can't have that. Lindsey Graham was lying. Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, they're all doing just fine. They're far from going broke. Small tweaks, everything's fine. And rich people aren't job creators. They're the takers who are busy stashing American money overseas. The job creators are the everyday working people who spend every penny of their paycheck creating demand that drives our economy.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
Bottom line, Republicans lie. And as long as Republicans lie like this, 3-1 against Democrats, how can we have a functioning republic?